Hi everybody, it's Eddie with Kahler, and today I'm going to talk to you about bass options. Now this is near and dear to my heart because I started playing bass way back in when I was 15 years old, and having a whammy bar option is fantastic, but we have fixed bridge options too. Let's roll through the whammy bars first because they're so much fun. Now, it might seem like there are a lot of options here, but it's only really 3 different models, and once you understand the different options and the different features, it'll be really easy to navigate. The most important thing for you to keep in mind is that all of these are the same level of quality. They're all made in the same shop in Fullerton, California. They're all assembled here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they're all made out of the same exact materials. The differences can be fairly significant, so let's walk through them. The very first thing that you need to know is if you need rearward facing saddles or forward facing saddles. They are completely and totally incompatible, so you have to know. This one right here would go on something like a P bass that has the bridge really close to the body. This would go on something that has enough room so that it's not going to hang off the back of the body, but at the same time needs to get those rollers a little bit closer to the pickup. We're going to start with the hybrid here. This is the most cost-effective bridge that we make as far as a whammy bar for bass. Now, the rollers move, but where the ball ends go in and are secured, they are stationary. And that right there is what makes it our most budget-friendly bridge. It's important to note that this is forward compatible with our new cams, and any cam can retrofit right onto this thing. The next thing that's really important to note is that this bridge is only available in either a wide 4 or a tight 5, meaning a 4-string to where you can move the strings however close you want to them. But as far as the 5-string goes, it's extremely bunched together. So you can see those plates are exactly the same size. You can cram an extra saddle into there and you're good to go. Now, with that, of course, you would need a 5-string cam, not a 4. This would be the next step up. This is the professional. The only real difference between this and the hybrid is that the string hooks themselves are movable. Once again, the professional is available either forward facing or rearward facing. This one right here is available in both forward and rearward facing, and we can have it go all the way up to 8 strings. Now, I'm not talking 8 strings like comparable to a 12-string guitar. I mean 8 great big huge bass strings. This is our newest bass whammy bar. It has a couple extra features from the old professionals, and one of them is real exciting. A big thing is that on the side here, this has a lock that will turn it into a fixed bridge. It also has the movable string hooks, and it also has a clutch right here. With this clutch, you can actually adjust how floppy the bar is. But because this is a really new bridge and it hasn't been worked in yet, the bar's going to be stiff no matter what. So we'll use this one to illustrate it. It's floppy. And now I'll just stick this Allen wrench in here. Give it a little tighten. And now it will stay in place wherever you want it. But once again, as soon as I loosen the thing up, it just drops. And now it'll move around however much you want. So that's the new cam, and it's got it on both sides, so it's ambidextrous. You can have this be either right-handed or left-handed. Either side has a clutch. You can put a palm lever in here. Doesn't matter. The choice is yours. The very last thing about our new bridge that I want to point out is this. While this one is rearward facing, it can also be changed to forward facing by simply moving this pin to this hole right here. And then once you do that, there's a little plate that goes right there, and you'll never be able to tell the difference. Once again, our new cam is backwards compatible with all of these. So if you have a hybrid and you want the new cam with the clutch, you can order the new cam with the clutch. You'll get it, put it on, it'll work great. So we just have one last thing to talk about as far as the Bass Whammies go, and that would be this right here. This one is engineered for a multi-scale. It has a pin here for these ones that need to be further back and a pin up here for the ones that need to be further forward. Now we can help you figure out your multi-scale. You just send us in what your scale lengths are. Gary Kahler himself will do the math and we'll make sure that this fits. If you actually want more strings, because the professionals, we go up to 8, but you could actually get as many as you want. It all depends on the size of the plate. But if you have a gigantic 20 string bass guitar, we could make you a whammy for that. It'd be a little extreme, but we could do it. There would be extra costs and things like that for custom work. You can just email us at sales@kahler.com and we will make sure that you're taken care of. Now let's talk about fixed bridge options. If you're not seeing things, this is not a perfect rectangle, it's a parallelogram. And that's because as your intonation changes, you tend to have to slide your saddles back a little further. And Gary Kahler thought that it'd be pretty slick if the plate actually helped you get there. One thing that's really cool about this bridge is that you can change the string spacing just like you can with our Bass Whammies. You can bring it in tight, you can make it go wide, you can pretty well do whatever you want. So once you mount the parallelogram on to wherever it is you want to go, you just change the string spacing and then move it backwards or forwards to get your proper intonation. Once that's complete, we just tighten this thing down. And she's staying right there. And we have a fancy little wrench that we will give you so that you can just adjust the saddles up and down. The string hook goes in the end right here, goes over the saddle. It's very easy to use. This is available from 4 to 8 string, but if you want it to get any bigger, email us at sales@kahlerusa.com. And what we will do is figure out what it is your needs are, and then we'll give you a quote and you can move on from there. One thing that's really cool is that all of our custom work like that is actually machined by Gary Kahler himself. That brings us to our absolute last option. And this is really exciting because these are new old stock that were made by Gary Kahler back before Kahler was a company. He had another company called the Brass Factory that made custom bridges and other parts for Fender, DiMarzio, BC Rich, Mighty Mite, Charvel, and a few others. These are new old stock, and there's actually a lot of science that goes into them. The entire thing is 360 half-hard brass. It'll just bolt right up to your standard Fender bridge screw holes. But this is the cool thing. There's a tone chamber built into the saddle. Now, the reason that this is a cool thing is because 360 half-hard brass will accentuate the lower harmonic. And this tone chamber will actually offset that by enhancing the upper and mid harmonic. So it's a pretty neat thing. And then if you're really adventurous, we have the same exact bridge, only it's got this great big resonator in the back here. Plate is 360 half-hard brass. And where the strings go in, they're tone chambered as well as the saddles. And that's it for the bass bridges. There are so many options, no matter how many strings you have, no matter what you need. They're all made in the USA and they all work great. So if you have any problems, you can just reach out to us either at sales@kahlerusa.com or straight to me, the tech, at eddie@kahlerusa.com. There is one more thing that I would like to bring to your attention, and that is that we actually make 4 different lengths of Bass Whammy bar. The ones that you see on the table right now are all 6s. We make a 7, And believe it or not, that extra inch makes a big difference. We also make a 9-inch bar and a 12-inch bar. The 9 is my personal favorite. The 12 is a little obnoxious, but there are people who really, really love it. And I don't blame them at all, because the longer the bar, the more leverage, the easier it is to move that bass whammy bar. So that's it. This has been Eddie for Kahler, and I'll see you next time.